I will say I loved, and it was heartbreaking, I say, but I did love how they did it, of just the desperation of Ellie trying to use her own blood
Mm.
to cure this. It was absolutely heartbreaking because you're like, that's not how it works,
Yeah.
but she's just trying. And I was seeing a lot of people complain about that online, that it was a bit silly. Like, what are you doing trying to like rub your blood on it? But I think it was just because she's a kid, like she doesn't know.
He is a kid.
She's just she's just trying whatever she knows. And I loved that desperation. Like, you'll be fine, you'll be better in the morning, and they just leave it in the morning. And it was that, will you wait up with me all night as well? Yeah,
Ah,
like, oh man, that was hard. And I did think that was done better in the show
yeah.
than the game.
Yeah,
I
like
think that was something
they're
they got
able to
really
kind of
right.
have those little character beats in that because they needed to kind of flesh it out. I didn't hate it at all because there's two different things at play there. Ellie is for the first time in her life getting to experience being a caregiver and being the
Yeah.
person like in that role rather than being cared for. So there's part of it where, you know, she doesn't want to like I don't hate that decision to do it because first off, she's a child. She doesn't know how vaccine works. She's just told that like she's
You're
immune
immune.
and
Yeah.
yeah, she can help save humanity by doing it. So she's like, you know what, we're gonna bust out the vaccine powers. But kids don't know how vaccines are made. Fucking A, none of us knew how vaccines were
No.
made until COVID happened. You know what I mean? And then
Exactly.
we
Yeah.
learned a lot very quickly. So like again, she's like, I'm gonna just go for this, and I'm fine with her doing that. Why not? And if she's ever gonna go for it, it's gonna be now. But there's also two other things at play. One is there's a kid who's confiding in you, who's worried, who's scared. First off, she's not gonna want that to happen. So she's gonna like try convince herself that this kid's not gonna die on my watch. But then there's that part of it where even when you know, like if you're looking after a kid or someone vulnerable like that, and even if you know they're fucked, you still have that instinct to want to protect them or make them feel better. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
think part of it was that as well, where she's like, no, it's okay. Don't panic. Please don't be scared. You know what I mean? And I think it was just a combination of things. So I didn't hate that decision at all. I thought that was
Yeah.
really
And
good.
him kind of clearly being scared because he's bit and he didn't want to tell anybody about it. And then they kind of exchange what they're scared of then as well, their fears, and that it just got more and more just heartbreaking. And it really, whatever it was, psychopath Ellie we had in the last few episodes, this really humanized her
Yeah.
in a huge way.
It's interesting because we didn't see that coming. We're like, she has to come back in some way. She can't just continue to go down this path. And obviously, we were talking about whether it was Joel. Again, for what we think is coming, I don't think that could have been possible here. We didn't think it would be Sam. We just didn't see that coming, but that's
No.
exactly what happened. Also, as well, that's a great call out. And I love that scene where they were kind of sharing their fears. There's one thing that, again, I think is an important takeaway from this. Ellie kind of sharing, I don't want to end up alone. That's something that I think, take a mental note of that, everyone. And this isn't giving away spoilers. It'll just, knowing that and remembering that that wasn't a throwaway line. That is Ellie telling us something fundamental to her character. And when you see her make decisions, and I think even as far as the next episode, this will begin to become relevant. When you see her making decisions, that fear of abandonment and that fear of ending up alone, that's core in everything that Ellie does. And it's very crucial to her character. So again, just view everything Ellie does through that lens of she's a person who doesn't want to end up alone. And even the decisions that she makes that are nonsensical, like seconds later trying to cure Sam with her hand.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's what's driving that. You know what I mean? She'll try anything to not lose people around her because think about it, she's an orphan. She suffered a lot of loss, presumably. We haven't really got into that. I feel like we're going to. She's spoken about hurting people and stuff before, so she's alluded to stuff like that. So yeah, there's I think, yeah, that's something that's very important to kind of take away and understand about Ellie.